Today we're taking a look at this early season SEC matchup between Georgia and South Carolina. Now, yes, South Carolina comes in as a 24-point underdog, but I happen to think that this is a team that is capable of putting together a competitive game for 4 quarters, even against a team like Georgia, and I'll explain why to you today. By the way, in the past decade, South Carolina has snuck up and beat Georgia a couple of times, and the last time they did it in 2019, they were a 24.5-point underdog. With that said, I do realize that Georgia has by far and away been the most dominant team in the country so far this season, and that's a large credit to Kirby Smart, as he has put a point of emphasis on placing a bunch of different bodies on the field, especially on the defensive side of the ball, so those younger players can be ready to contribute in larger roles, whether it be later on in a season or in a future season like we're seeing this year. So with that said, let's dive into the matchups and ultimately look into how South Carolina can make this a competitive game. First things first, I really think South Carolina's coaching staff is going to have to put their trust into Spencer Rattler early and often in this game, and I think he's going to have to be a playmaker through the air in this one. I don't think we need to look into how good Georgia's defense is going to be against the run, so that's really why I think South Carolina is going to have to come out passing early and often, as opposed to running the ball on early downs and getting bogged down and putting themselves in bad third and long situations, especially with the way Georgia's offense has been playing. They really have to keep pace with Georgia's offense. The second thing I think about when it comes to this game is South Carolina's pass protection. Now, it is funny that Georgia only has 1 sack on the season, and I really think it's a bit of an intimidation factor. Even watching that first game, Georgia versus Oregon, you could tell that Oregon's coaches were telling Bo Nix to get the ball out of his hands quickly, which was a little uncharacteristic for Bo Nix, as he tends to hold on to the ball, scramble around, and make a play. So I really think that's due to the fact that other coaches are saying, hey man, these guys are going to get after you. You've got to get the ball out of your hands quickly. And then the third thing I'm looking for in this game, especially from South Carolina's defense, is taking some risk and trying to get a turnover or two in this one, and then definitely being better against the run after they allowed almost 300 yards on the ground against Arkansas. So to me, to sum it up, I think South Carolina's coaching staff is going to have to put their trust in Spencer Rattler to make plays through the air early and often in this game. I do think South Carolina has some cohesiveness and some continuity on the offensive line, as they are pretty veteran-led. So I want to see that matchup, how they pass protect for Spencer Rattler, and will he trust that his offensive line, not only that his receivers will win one-on-ones down the field, but that his offensive line can protect him for that extra second. And then will the defense be able to make a couple of splash plays, make a few tackles for loss, get a turnover here or there? Those are the keys I'm looking for in this one. I do think South Carolina can make it a competitive game, so I would take those 24 points in this game. All right, that's going to do it for this one. Thank you all for watching, and if you haven't checked out the channel, I like to preview college football. I like to preview a couple of NFL games here and there. When the NBA season comes, I'll be previewing that. So thanks for watching and stay tuned.